Hello everyone. Today we will be learning about a sound level meter and will discuss its working principle, its applications and other important things. So, the aim of our experiment is to investigate noise pollution by using sound level meter. So, the apparatus required for this experiment is just a sound level meter. Now, have you ever been in a noisy factory and had to cover your ears? You must have whizzed when you walked past a jackhammer in the street because of the loud sound it produces. Being exposed to loud noises for a brief period of time usually does no harm. But imagine having to suffer it hour upon hour, day after day. If noise is a problem to you, the first thing you need to do is measure how loud it is. So you can take effective steps to reduce it. Thanks to the automated electronic sound level meters that do the job for you. Sound level meters work by calculating the pressure of the sound waves traveling through the air from a source of noise. That's why you will sometimes see them referred to as sound pressure level meters. They measure sound intensity in units called decibels. The decibels are named in honor of Alexander Graham Bell. Yes, you are right, the inventor of the telephone. Now let us understand the decibel scale. The decibel scale is logarithmic and it works in a different way to the scale on a ruler, which is a linear scale. For example, on a ruler, a distance of 20 centimeter is twice as long as a distance of 10 centimeter and 30 centimeter is 3 times as long. But the logarithmic decibel scale goes up in power of 10. Every increase of 10 decibel on the scale is equivalent to a 10-fold increase in sound intensity, which broadly corresponds with a doubling in loudness. That means a sound of 20 decibel is 10 times more intense than a sound of 10 decibel, and 30 decibel sound is 100 times more intense. A sound of 100 decibel is actually 10 raised to the power 9 times more intense than a sound of 10 decibel and not 10 times as intense as you might think. That's why sound high up the decibel scale from about 85 to 200 decibel are a major cause for concern. The sound waves carry so much energy that they will damage your hearing sooner or later. But how does all this translates into loudness, which is what we actually feel about the volume of a sound? So, the decibel scale is logarithmic because that's essentially how our ear responds. A 10-fold increase in sound intensity measured as a 10 decibel increase with a sound meter would feel to us roughly like a doubling in loudness. Another 10-fold increase and another 10 decibel increase would feel like another doubling. Putting those two things together, a 100-fold increase in sound intensity would give a 20 decibel increase on our sound level meter and feel like a quadrupling in loudness. So a sound of 100 decibel is 90 decibel louder than a sound of 10 decibel, which is a billion times more intense and roughly 500 times louder. So here we have a table that mentions the level in decibels, intensity and loudness of different things you come across in your daily life. So you can pause the video and have a look at this. Now let us understand how does a sound level meter works. Here you can see different parts and buttons of sound level meter. The function of some buttons is self-explanatory, while some important functions we will discuss here. Sound level meter comes in a very sturdy box, and for software installation the manufacturer has provided us a CD, and this is sound level meter. As you can see, it comes in a very nice packaging. We also have a data cable here to transfer data from sound level meter to computer. This is windshield to protect the microphone from damage and to reduce the effect of wind and air movement across the microphone. Now we will discuss the functions of some buttons of the sound level meter. This is power button. Press the key for 1 second to turn the sound level meter on and off. The auto power will be off automatically after 5 minutes idle time. This is hold button. By pressing it, The reading data shown on display can be logged. This is backlight button, which helps you in easy reading in the dark environments. This is frequency weighing select button. You can choose between A weighing and C weighing. This is maximum minimum hold button. When you press the key, minimum symbol appears on the display and the instrument measures and displays the minimum value of the parameter. When you press it again, it shows the maximum value. This is time weighing select button. You can choose between fast and slow. This is record button. Press the button to start recording data and press it again to stop recording. Now let us see what is frequency weighing. Frequency weighing are one of the most important parameters you need to be aware of when measuring sound. Picking the wrong one or failing to realize which one you are using can make your results invalid. Sound frequency is the property of a sound that determines pitch. You may already be aware that human ear is more sensitive to some frequencies than others. It is actually most sensitive between 500 Hz and 6 kHz. While measuring sound, it is important that the sound meter shows us a realistic representation of what we actually hear. This is where frequency weighing comes in. Frequency weighing gives more weight to different frequencies, emphasizing the sound received on certain frequencies and de-emphasizing others. Here we can choose between A weighing and C weighing. Now, what is A frequency weighing? It is the most commonly used in noise measurement. It adjusts the reading to reflect the sensitivity of the human ear. As you can see in the graph, the curve shape is adjusted to roughly represent the range of human ear and offer a more realistic representation to the sound levels our ears are subjected to. Now, what is C frequency weighing? Like A weighing, C weighing follows the frequency sensitivity of the human ear, but at much higher noise levels. This results in much flatter curve, giving much more emphasis to low frequency sounds. Peak measurements are normally taken using C weighing. Now, time weighing select button. SLM has two different time weighing, fast and slow. Slow is used for checking average level of fluctuation noise, while fast is used for normal measurements. They both dampen the reaction of the displayed level to a sudden change in the sound level. Fast reacts quicker than slow. If, for instance, in a quiet environment, a loud constant sound is suddenly switched on, the F-weighted level display would take approximately 0.6 seconds to reach the new level, while the S-weighted level display would reach the new level only after approximately 5 seconds. These values are given by the time constant. For the fast, time constant is equals to 125 millisecond, and for the S weighting, time constant is equals to 1 second, which are defined in the standard. When the sound is suddenly switched off, the displayed F level decays at a rate of 34.7 decibel per second, while the displayed S level decays at a rate of 4.3 decibel per second. Now we will see the working principle of sound level meters. The basic parts of most sound level meters consist of a microphone, amplifier, weighing networks, detector, and a display meter reading in decibels. You can see these elements of a meter in this figure. At the microphone, the sound wave energy is converted into an electrical signal. The electrical signal produced by the microphone is at a very low level, so it is made stronger by a preamplifier. The electrical signal may be modified by the weighing network, followed by a further boosting in magnitude through the amplifier. Early sound level meters indicate the sound level with a needle pointer. These early meters were very sensitive and tended to chatter or move back and forth rapidly. Electrical damping was added to slow the needle's response and made it more readable. The meter will also have a control for the time constant for the display, that is the speed of the meter response. And the two common constants are fast and slow. As discussed earlier, slow setting has a time constant of 1 second, while for fast response it is 125 millisecond. Now here we have root mean square detector, which measures the time average of the square of the waves. Since the energy in the wave is proportional to the mean square value, the RMS detector is the most commonly used setting. Now outputs are available in either analog or digital form. Digital output may connect the meter to computers for more complex calculations or to produce larger graphical displays. Now we will see the procedure. First, you have to install the software which comes along with SLM. I have already installed it. Now with the help of data cable, connect the sound level meter to computer. So this is sound level meter software. Now click on the connect option. You will see at the bottom, found the sound level meter. That means the software has detected the SLM. You can see the live reading, battery level and settings here. By clicking on the download option, it will display last recorded data. Now we have to clear this data by clicking on erase option. Then click on update date and time. It does not automatically update date and time, as it is recommended to remove the battery after using the sound level meter. Now we have to select a particular location at which we have to measure the noise. We have selected the main gate of IIT Roorkee for measurement. As you can see, we have placed the SLM on tripod stand. Now we have to just switch on the sound level meter and press the record button. You have to make sure the operator is at least 2 meters away from the sound level meter. Second location we have chosen is near atmospheric physics lab. I want to measure the noise produced by this cabinet. So again, we have placed the sound level meter near the cabinet. You have to just press the record button. You can see right now it is showing a reading of around 59 decibel. After recording the data, you have to again open the software after connecting SLM to computer. First click on the connect option and then you have to click on the download option. It will display all the data. Then click on save to file and you can save it wherever you want. So this is the sound level intensity at different timings. With the help of this, you can draw a graph of sound level versus time. Now let's see the results. So this is sound level versus time graph at main gate IIT Roorkee. You can see the intensity varies between 65 decibel and 85 decibel. And if you compare it with the graph of cabinet near atmospheric laboratory, you will find that the intensity is around 60 decibel. So we find that the average value of intensity level at main gate IIT Roorkee is 74.64 decibel, while it is 59.79 decibel near atmospheric physics lab. So we conclude that the sound intensity level at main gate IIT Roorkee is larger than the cabinet near atmospheric physics lab, and the difference between the intensities is 14.85 decibel. Now you have to follow some precautions also. As sound level meter is a precision instrument, it must be protected from shocks and vibrations. Make sure you always use windshield to protect the microphone from dust, and the operator should be at a distance of 2 to 3 meters behind the sound level meter. So that's it for sound level meter. Thank you.